At the beginning of the movie, we are shown a retired CIA agent named Peter. After leaving the CIA, Peter started working as a private contractor. He also has a partner named David. David accompanies Peter on most of his missions. Now from the conversation between these two, we come to know that today they have got the mission of saving the ambassador's life. Then both of them quickly get ready, sit in the car, and set out to pick up the ambassador. David had already reached the building where the ambassador was supposed to come today. Then after reaching there, he starts loading his gun. On the other hand, we see Peter, who has now reached the ambassador. But he made a plan. He himself wore the ambassador's clothes and reached the place where the event was to be held today. Then as soon as he gets out of the car, David tells him that I am in my position and I suspect some people. Hearing this, Peter says that you should not take any action until I give you the order. But then David realizes someone is about to shoot Peter. So he immediately shoots the man. Due to the firing, there is a stampede, and in the meantime a child also loses his life. Seeing all this, Peter felt very bad because a child lost his life due to a small mistake. Now in the next scene, we are shown the story after 5 years. Then we see Peter meeting his old boss Henley, and he tells him about a new mission. He says that a lot of people have been killed in Moscow for the past few days, and I'm sure that their next target is a woman named Natalia. Actually, Natalia works for Russian General Fedor, and he's a very bad man. From the very beginning, Fedor has been planning something big in collaboration with the war crime people. He knows very well that Natalia is the biggest thorn in his path because she has a lot of intelligence which can get Fedor into trouble, and that is why he wants to kill her. Then Henley tells Peter that I want you to save Natalia's life at any cost. After hearing this, Peter immediately leaves for his work. On the other hand, we see Fedor inside the Russian parliament. He was giving a speech on how to run the country properly. Natalia was also present there at this time. She immediately goes to Fedor's room to collect some more evidence against him, and then somehow opens Fedor's secret locker, inside which a lot of money and a gun were kept. Among these things, there were also photos of many girls. Then Nalia immediately starts taking photos of all of them on her phone. But then he realizes that Fedor is coming towards a room, so she quickly closes the locker. Then when Fedor comes inside the room, she tells him that you had forgotten your glasses here. I had come to pick him up. Natalia then leaves after giving Fedor the glasses. After some time, Fedor looks at his locker and realizes that Natalia must have tampered with his locker. Then he immediately sends his security team after him. On the other hand, we see the CIA people, and at this time, they were also keeping an eye on Natalia because they needed the information she had at any cost. In the next scene, we see Natalia, who now understands that Fedor's men are after her. So she tries to save her life somehow. But after some time, the security team blocks his way, due to which Natalia has to come out of the car. Now, just as the security team was about to kill him, Peter reaches there. He then quickly puts Natalia in his car and drives away. The CIA was confused as to who saved Natalia's life, and they try to find out about this. Then, when Peter and Natalia talk on the way, we come to know from their conversation that they are husband and wife, and they also have a little daughter named Lucy. Now, after many years, they are very happy to meet each other. After which Peter tells Natalia to tell him the name of the person through whom we can reveal the whole truth about Fedor to the world. Hearing this, Natalia tells him the name of a girl, Myra Filipova. Now, upon learning the name, Peter immediately informs Henley, who was currently at the CIA headquarters. He says to Peter, "Please forgive me. The CIA has decided to kill Natalia," and after saying this, Henley disconnects the phone. On the other hand, we see Peter's old friend David, who has now started working for the CIA. Now he is ordered to kill Natalia immediately. So he reaches a building and aims at Natalia from there. Now before Peter could do anything, Natalia is killed right in front of his eyes. Now he is devastated as his wife dies in front of his eyes. He then kisses Natalia's forehead one last time, and then takes her phone and immediately leaves. As the CIA team packs up and leaves the building, Peter attacks them. During this time, she meets David. But both of them leave from there without killing each other. Then David angrily asks the headquarters team what Peter was doing there. But no one answers him because even the CIA people themselves did not know that Peter was going to come there. In the next scene, we see Peter sitting in a taxi, and this time he was checking Natalia's phone. After a little investigation, Peter removes the memory card and throws the phone on the road. On the other hand, we see Henley trying to get information about Myra Filipova by typing her name into his system. But then he realizes that some people have entered his house. So he deletes all the data from his system and takes out his gun. But this is of no use as they overpower Henley and give him an injection to make him unconscious. Actually, these were CIA people and they caught Henley because he sent Peter to Natalia without giving any information to the CIA. Then the next day, the CIA people call David to their office. CIA station in charge Perry tells him that you made a big mistake by leaving Peter alive. Don't you know what a dangerous person he is? We find out that Nalia was Peter's wife and we kill her. Now he will take revenge for his wife's death from you, as well as the entire CIA department. I know very well that you respect Peter very much, because he has taught you a lot. But listen to me carefully. If we do eliminate Peter as soon as possible, he could become a huge threat to all of us. Now I give you the responsibility of killing him. You have to finish him off at any cost. Now knowing the whole truth, David agrees to Perry's words. In the next scene, we see Peter. He arrives at Henley's house to meet her. Then he learns that CIA agents are trying to restore data from Henley's computer system. And seeing all this, Peter immediately kills both the agents. Then after this, he tries to find out information about Myra from the computer. While investigating, he comes to know about a girl named Alice, who has had a connection with Myra. So now Peter starts tracking him. On the other hand, the CIA also somehow came to know about Alice, and now they also start searching for her. In the next scene, we see Alice sitting in a restaurant, and she had come there for her meeting. A contract killer named Alexa was also present in the restaurant. She comes to Alice and tells her that someone in the office has called for her. Then as Alice starts walking towards the office, she gets a call from Peter on her phone, and he tells Alice that the woman standing in front of you is a contract killer. Your life is in danger right now. So you do as I say. You turn back and quickly run towards a gate. Then Alice does the same. Then Peter opens the gate and runs away with her. Now the CIA team had also reached there and they saw Peter with Alice. Then without wasting any time, they start chasing both of them. On the other hand, we see Peter in the car with Alice and he tells it along with Alexa. The CIA team is also after you because they're all looking for a woman named Myra with whom you had a connection. Actually, Myra has some very important information which these people want to obtain. But nothing has been found about him yet. That's why you're being targeted, so that they can reach Myra through you. Now if you want her life to be completely safe, then tell me all the information about Myra. Now after listening to all this, Alice tells him that I last met Myra 3 years ago. But now he is not in my contact. Now Peter sees the truth in Alice's words. So he doesn't question her anymore. Then both of them go to a man named Danny. Peter tells him, I want to make a deal with you. I know very well that some people are after your life. If you help me, I will give you information about all of them. Hearing all this, Danny understands that Peter wants to get information about Fedro. Then he tells him that this incident is many years old. At that time, I was in the Chechen city with Fedro. Even though the town was small, there was a lot of oil there, which caught Fedro's eye. He wanted to get that oil at any cost. Then he quietly and very cleverly made a plan. There was a building inside Chechen where many Russian soldiers were staying. Fedro blew up the entire building and then blamed the Chechens for it, which led to a war between the Russians and the Chechens. And the result of this war was very bad, but Fedro succeeded in bringing that oil to Russia. Then Danny tells that the CIA people also knew about all this, but they did not take any action. According to me, perhaps those people were also involved in all this. Now, after hearing all this, Peter becomes very surprised. On the other hand, we see Station Chief Perry, who is angry at David because his team could not catch Peter and Alice. Then, after talking for a while, Perry gives a pen drive to David and says that you must see whatever is inside it. You will find out the whole truth about Peter. After hearing all this, David immediately takes the pen drive to his office and starts checking it. Inside the pen drive were many family photos of Peter in which he looked very happy. David feels very bad after seeing those photos because Peter had always advised him not to have any relationship with anyone. Then, upon further investigation, he finds a report that Peter had prepared for David. While he was training him, Peter told the CIA in the report that David was still not fully prepared because he didn't know how to control his emotions, and I think he would never understand that. Now David becomes very angry after seeing all this. Then he decides that now he will not rest until he kills Peter at any cost. Then when Peter was leaving his house, he meets Sarah, who lives in the flat opposite his. From their conversation, we come to know that both of them like each other. In the next scene, we see Peter talking to Alice. He tells her that Fedro, in collaboration with the CIA, started the Russian-Chechen War and that Myra must be aware of some important information about it, which is why everyone is after her. Some people want to kill him, while some people are planning to control Fedro through his information. Now Fedro also wanted to kill Myra to escape from all this, so that there would be no evidence against him, and after saying this, Peter starts looking out of the window, where David and Sarah were talking to each other. After some time, both of them come to their room and start getting intimate with each other. The next morning when David wakes up, he doesn't see Sarah anywhere. Then David gets scared and quickly searches for his gun, but he cannot find it. Then he comes to know that Peter has arrived there and has taken Sarah captive. After seeing all this, David asks him, "What do you want after all? You broke up with me 5 years ago. You also wrote very bad things in my training report, due to which I had to face a lot of difficulties." But Peter doesn't pay much attention to what he says. Then he cuts Sarah's vein with his knife and runs away from there. Then, without wasting any time, David quickly gets Sarah admitted to the hospital because at that time, she was the one who mattered the most to him. In the next scene, we see a CIA agent named Celia interrogating Henley. Henley asks him, "What do you think the CIA's job is?" She replies that we protect people. But Henley says, "You're absolutely wrong. We don't protect people. We take advantage of them. We collect their information through which we can take advantage of their helplessness. This is what the CIA has always been doing, and you know this very well." This time, too, the CIA is looking for Myra so that they can control Fedro through her. In the next scene, we see Alexa talking to Fedro. She was giving him all the information she had so far. Fedro says, "I don't have much time. Now you finish your work as quickly as possible." On the other hand, Alice meets a social journalist named Edgar. She tells him that, "I know everything about Fedro, and I want to give you all that information." Reaching Edgar's office, Alice starts telling everything and says that after the Russia-Chechen War, many girls came to Russia as refugees, but they were raped there. Fedro was also involved in all this, and he fell in love with a girl named Myra, and he used to abuse her day and night. Now before Alice could say anything else, Alexa arrives there and kills Edgar without wasting any time. But Alice somehow managed to escape from there. In the next scene, we see David. He was gathering more information about Peter. But then he comes to know from Peter's family photo that he also has a daughter, and after knowing this, he immediately goes to Perry and says that we can easily reach Peter through Lucy. Now Perry finds this idea to be perfect. In the next scene, we see Peter, who has reached the interrogation place. Then he points a gun at Henley's head and says, "I know better. The Russia-Chechen War was started by Fedor, and the CIA was also with him in this work. Now you tell me which officer from the CIA department supported Fedro." After hearing all this, Henley says that the officer's name is Perry. He then mentions Myra, saying that Fedro pretended to be dumb when he took Myra with him. Myra's parents were university professors. Therefore, he taught him English and Russian language as well. Fedro always thought that Myra could not speak and did not understand Russian. But he was absolutely wrong. Myra understood everything. So he came to know about all the evil deeds of Fedro. After hearing all this, Peter understands that Alice is the real Myra. Because during the conversation, Myra told Peter that her parents were professors in the university and they taught her the Russian language. In the next scene, we see the CIA team investigating Alice. Then they come to know that Alice had died of cancer 5 years ago, and now someone else is using her identity. After a little more investigation, they also discover that Myra stole Alice's identity to take revenge on Fedro. After learning all this, David understands that Myra will soon try to kill Fedro. On the other hand, we see Myra, who disguised herself as a prostitute and reached Fedro's hotel room. Then she tells Fedro that your old friend Denny sent me this as a gift. Then she comes to the bathroom on the pretext to go into the toilet. And there she looks at herself in the mirror and starts remembering those days when Fedro had killed her family in front of her eyes, and then how he used to abuse her day and night. Thinking about all these things, she gets very scared. But then she somehow gathers courage and hides a piece of glass inside her clothes. Then Myra goes close to Fedro and places the piece of glass on his neck. Fedro immediately recognizes Myra and then dominates her by mentally torturing her like in the old days. Then we see Peter arriving at the hotel and killing all of Fedro's men. After that, he reaches Fedro's room and explains to Myra to listen to me carefully. If you kill him now, his crimes will not be proved. So I want you to take out your phone and record everything. Now Peter points a gun at Fedro's head and says, "Tell me the name of the CIA officer who was involved with you in the Russian-Chechen War." Hearing this, Fedro replies that the officer's name is Henley. Peter is shocked to hear Henley's name and takes out a photo from his pocket and asks Fedro, "Which man are you talking about?" Myra recognizes Henley in the photo and then tells Peter that this man was in cahoots with Fedro. After hearing all this, Peter understands that Henley has been cheating on him from the beginning. He did all this to kill all those people who were a threat to him. Then after knowing the whole truth, when Myra and Peter were going to the hotel, David reaches there with his entire team. Then a dangerous fight starts between them all. Then Peter tells Myra to quickly go to her hotel. If somehow I don't return by evening, then you go straight to the Dutch embassy and tell them the whole truth. They will definitely help you. And after hearing all this, Myra immediately runs away from there. Then we see David, who reaches the basement of the hotel in search of Peter. But then Peter attacks him from behind and catches him. But in the end, he runs away from there without killing him. When David sees Fedro's video on that phone, he is shocked. Now he understands that Henley is behind this whole matter. David then decides to tell Perry about this immediately. But when he reaches his office, Henley is sitting there in place of Perry, and this can only mean one thing, that now the CIA has promoted Henley to Perry's post. In the next scene, we see Peter, who has reached Myra safely. Then Myra thanks him because it is because of him that she is still alive. Then in further conversation, Peter tells her that I also have a daughter, Lucy, who is now 12 years old, and I miss her a lot. Then when Peter calls Lucy, Henley's voice comes on the other end. He tells Peter that now you understand how important Fedro and his secrets are to the CIA. He asked for my help to control Fedro because I know all his secrets. Now, the CIA has given me Perry's post so that I can collect all the evidence related to Fedor's war crimes and give it to them. Now, when Fedor becomes the president of Russia, the CIA will control Fedor on the basis of those evidences, through which we will make our network in Russia more powerful. Then Henley laughs and tells Peter that your best student David brought your daughter Lucy to me. If you want your daughter to be safe and return to you, then hand over Myra to me. In the next scene, we see Peter and Henley in a mansion. There Henley was explaining to him that in future we can completely control Russia through Fedor. Meanwhile, Myra was writing an article at the railway station detailing all of Phaedro's misdeeds. But Alexa traces her location through a hacker and also finds out that Myra had bought 3 tickets at the railway station. That means she is planning to run away somewhere. After getting all the information, Alexa kills the hacker and then immediately leaves for that location. In the next scene, we see Peter again talking to his daughter, Lucy, on the phone. Then, at CIA headquarters, Celia traces the call and learns where Henley has hidden Lucy. Peter then tells Henley that Myra is trying to escape from the bus station. But in reality, she was at the railway station. Peter was saying all this deliberately because he had already made a plan. Now, after listening to Peter, Henley orders David to go to the bus station so that he can catch Myra. Then on the way, David receives a message from Celia, which contains the address of Lucy's location. After getting the address, David cleverly crashes his car into a wall, killing Heinlich's man in the car. But Peter was completely safe. He then goes to the address sent by Celia, kills all of Henley's men, and saves Lucy's life. In the next scene, we see Myra. While she was writing her entire story, her eyes fell on Alexa, and as soon as she saw her, Myra started running out of the railway station without wasting any time. Then, as Alexa approaches her, she attacks Alexa's head very hard with a sharp instrument, due to which he dies there itself. Then Myra comes near the railway station and completes her article, and then sends it to Edgar's news company. Then we see David bringing Lucy back to Peter safely, and then together they kill Henley. Then while leaving from there, Peter thanks David from his heart because it is because of him that Lucy is alive today. Then after some time, Peter comes to the railway station and meets Myra, and then all 3 of them leave from there together. In the next scene, we see Myra sitting in front of the entire government, and she tells them the whole truth that the Russian-Chechen war started because of Phaedro and Henley. After the war was over, Phaedro did wrong things with many girls. I was also one of them. He took advantage of me for 2 whole years. After knowing all this truth, the government immediately arrests Phaedro. But after a few days, he comes out of jail and lives a happy life. Then when Phaedro was having fun with girls on the boat, as per his old hobby, suddenly a bullet hits him directly in the head, and his game ends there. The one who carried out this task was none other than David, and with this the movie ends. Friends, if you liked the movie, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if possible, share it with your friends. I will meet you with more such interesting movies. Till then, bye-bye. Hi.